Hello, everybody, and welcome to Endurance Sports University. This is the Coaches Mastermind Group, episode number 1, kicking it off today. So let's chat real briefly about what these calls are. This is going to be a weekly Coaches Mastermind Group that we're going to take advantage of technology, use GoToMeeting like we are right now, and basically have ourselves a coaching call. It's going to start out with a short presentation of some sort by myself. Today we're going to talk about 4 things that help with success in business. The topics can be anything with business related, it could be coaching related, whatever I kind of feel like talking about, or something that is more, let's say, time sensitive, having to do more with the time of year, or whatever it is like that. And then from there, the goal is to open it up to questions and answers from you guys and gals that are on the call. Your questions can be in regards to what I talk about at the first part, or it can be anything that you guys want related to coaching, related to business, related to science. Whatever it may be, I will do my best to answer whatever questions you have. I'm sure some of you are more than capable of stumping me, when we're live. So if I don't have a good answer, I will go research it and I will get you the answer that you're needing. So that's basically the format. You guys and gals will get as much or little out of this as you put into it. If you are going to be a passive listener and that's it, then we're going to be, at the 15-20 minute mark and kind of out of stuff to talk about. The goal is to have you guys and gals asking questions. I'm going to be answering them, bringing other participants on the call in to discuss, to maybe tell a story about what they did in that situation, how they solved the problem, etc. Everybody who is a coach, when you're first starting out, you always hear, oh, there's more than enough triathletes. You guys don't need to fight with each other over, clients and all that type of stuff. And normally the person that is telling you that has a bunch of clients, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, I got mine. Don't worry, you'll get yours. It's kind of what it's always come off, as to me. But when we're looking at this, there really are more than enough triathletes out there. The question becomes, are you getting in front of them? Is your message reaching them? And that's, part of being a business owner, is getting your message out to prospective clients and getting their contact info ultimately, and bringing them in to have a conversation with you and to hopefully get them to sign up for whatever coaching services it is that you're offering. So that being said, as coaches, we can work against each other. We can not be collaborative. We cannot try to help each other. We cannot share what has and hasn't worked. And we're gonna be isolationists. We're not gonna grow. You're gonna be capped out at the max of your own potential, what you know how to do. Now you can come to a coach's mastermind group like this and get some good ideas and not contribute to the group. You can absolutely do that. You could join a coaching mentorship program, buy a book, watch a webinar, and take all that information for yourself. And that's a reasonable thing to do. It's not a bad thing. But what I'm here to tell you is working together, sharing information, sharing what has and what hasn't worked, that makes everybody better. All right. So looking at the coaches that are on this call, right, I think we actually just picked up a 4th. Hi, Aaron. Welcome to the call. Looking at the 4 of us that are on this call right now, the 4 of us are not competing against each other, right? It's not going to happen, right? We have somebody who's in Florida. I'm in San Diego. We have a coach in the Cayman Islands, and we have a coach in Alabama. The 4 of us aren't competing for the exact same clients. And that's something that coaches have to understand, right? If I have a coach who is on this call who is literally next door to me in San Diego, maybe they're competing with me, maybe they're not. The Endurance Sports University business model, it isn't a local San Diego-based business model. It's just not. I am looking for athletes and coaches and whoever else across the country, around the globe. All right. So I know that, talking about Aaron in Florida, for example, Aaron works with a lot of athletes that are very local, right? I'm not competing against Erin in what her prime market is. So does it make sense for Erin and I to try to help each other? Yes, absolutely. Right? If we look at, Kara or Neil, who, Cayman Islands and Alabama, I'm not in your guys' market. We're not competing over the same type of client. Right? So even if we are, there's more than enough people out there that are going to want services. All right, so let's keep that in mind. Everybody contributes. Everybody's going to get better at what they're doing, whether it be the coaching part of it, whether it be the business part of it. Everybody's skill set is going to improve. I think everybody would agree with that from these calls. When that happens, the level of coaching across the board is going to increase. When that increases, there's more athletes that we're able to help. The more athletes that we're able to help, it makes the triathletes themselves better. Now they're out at the races and they're saying, hey, I was working with Coach Neil and he's awesome. Look at what I've done. I cut this amount of minutes off this. I did my first Ironman. Me and my wife did this one together. All kinds of great stuff that Neil, for example, has been doing in Alabama. Everybody now is having that same conversation with their friends, with their family, with their training partners, with their coworkers. What that's doing is that's bringing in the tide. We have high tide for everybody. When everybody's doing well, all of the boats sit higher in the water. All the boats, that's us. Those are the coaches, right? The water that I'm talking about, that's the triathlon world. All right. So with the Coaches Mastermind Group, the whole goal is we all work together. Right. So having questions, contributing thoughts, hey, this worked for me, this didn't work for me, etc. That's going to be the key. That's going to be huge for this group right here. Right. And looking at the four of us that are on the call right now, I know that there's a mix. There's a mix of a lot of 10 plus years being a triathlon coach, and there are some triathlon coaches on here that are pretty much brand new to it, and there's everything in between. So having a fresh new perspective to things from a coach that's new to this, outstanding, right? Having a perspective from a coach who's been here for a while, really understands the business side of it or the coaching side of it, that's also beneficial too. All right, so those are the goals of the Coaches Mastermind Group. So let's go ahead and get rolling. All right, first thing we're going to do is we are going to get the slides correct. All right, me, your presenter, Ryan Reel. Those of you that don't know me, USA Triathlon Level 2 coach, USAT Youth and Junior coach, master's degree in exercise physiology, biomechanics, master's degree in organic and biological chemistry, USA Triathlon High Performance Team Director and Head Coach, was one of the few elite coaches over at Training Bible Coaching until I broke off earlier in 2015 and founded Endurance Sports University. So real quick shout to the two different sponsors that we have for the first Coaches Mastermind Group. The first one is Audible. If you're like me, I love books, especially audiobooks while I'm training or trying to find time to train as a busy business owner. So what I did is I teamed up with Audible audiobooks. If you haven't already, you can head over there, go to endurancesportsuniversity.com/audible, get two amazing audiobooks for free. They have a tremendous selection of books ranging from triathlon books to business books. Outstanding way to get some business books, listen to them while you are, driving around in the car, running some errands, while you're, going for a run, going for a swim, multitasking, passive listening, absolutely outstanding stuff. So again, two free audiobooks right there, endurancesportsunversity.com/audible. The second sponsor, for those of you that don't already use lead pages, they're going to help you turn your next idea into a published landing page in less than 5 minutes. They've engineered the simplest landing page builder in the industry so you can create, edit, and deploy your next high converting page without touching a single line of code. Those of you that haven't had to spend the time to learn code, oh boy, that's a whole lot of fun. All right, so these guys over here at leadpages.net, they're 100% mobile responsive landing pages, also work effortlessly on iPhones, iPads, and Android devices. That way you are ensured that you can navigate through your landing pages, and so can anyone else. So to learn more, head over to endurancesportsuniversity.com/lead-pages and check it out. All right, so coaching mentorship program. For those of you that are not members already, coaching mentorship program is designed to assist triathlon and other endurance sports coaches who want to separate themselves from their competition through continuing education and transitioning from owning a job to owning a business. Our coaching mentorship program has been recognized by our members for providing advanced graduate level continuing education, business skills development, and tools that distinguish them from their competition. Unlike other mentorship programs, ours here at ESU focuses on each coach as an individual, providing them with the tools, support, and accountability required to rise above their competition in a supportive community environment. So if you are not already a member, check it out. It's good stuff. All right, let's get into the main presentation for this afternoon. All right. Let me get that clicked over there. All right, so 4 essentials for success as a business owner. If you guys have any questions along the way, just type them into the question box. I'll do my best to get to them. I got it pulled up here on the side of the screen. So here we go. Essential number 1, you need to focus on your vision. All right, so as a business owner, we know that we need to have vision. All right, we need to know, where do I want to be in 1 year? Where do you want to be in 3 years? And where do you want to be in 5 years? As a business owner and as a human being, as a person who needs to provide for yourself, you need to provide for a family, you need to raise a family, you know, all that type of stuff. The vision has to account for that. You have to have a very strong vision, and you have to be very clear on that. So that is something that we've spoken about before. If you've seen any of the lessons that we've done on vision and the fundamentals of business, but let's kind of dig into this just a little bit more. What vision is going to do is tell us, this is where we want to be. I want to be, as of November 12th, 2016, I want to have X number of clients. I want to bring in X number of dollars as a net profit. I want to be paying myself this much per month, this much per year. I want to only be working 4 days a week and still be making that amount of money, whatever it may be. That's where you want to be. From there, we use simple backwards planning and say, okay, if I want to have 25 clients and I have 10 clients right now, that means I need to add 15 clients over the next year. If I break that up over a 12-month period, that means that if I pick up 1 client per month for 12 months, that leaves me 3 short of my goal. So I need to figure out, how do I get 1 additional client for 3 of those 12 months, right? That is how we take vision and we start planning, right? That's how you have a goal and we develop a plan to support that, all right? So knowing where you want to go, having a plan, right? And then when you sit down and you schedule out your week or your month, or, getting even into the more micro, scheduling out your day, everything that you're doing needs to support your vision, right? So whether that is working in the business, writing a training program, answering emails, whatever it may be, doing a coaching call, or whether it be working on your business, developing a marketing strategy, developing an ebook, writing a blog, whatever, maybe writing a blog isn't really working on the business, but whether it's working in or on the business, we need to be working towards or in support of the vision. That's the huge thing, right? So part of the vision is we need to determine what goals, right? So your vision 1 year from today, that's a goal, right? That's a long-term goal. And if I said, hey, I'm going to bring each of you on and I want you to tell me, in 500 words or less, how you would work with an athlete to develop long-term goals and short-term goals, right? The long-term goal, that's chosen by the athlete, right? That's chosen also by the business owner. The short-term goals, that's where the coach, that's where you guys really help your athletes, because you can take, hey, I want to do Ironman Arizona in 2016. It's in 52 and a half weeks or whatever it is. Okay, that's a long-term goal. Now as a coach, you got that shit nailed. That's easy. All right, here's what we need to do. We need to hit this. We need to do this. We need to do that. We have 12 months and 6 days or whatever it is from, this Thursday till, this coming Sunday when they race in 2015. When it comes to business, we need to do the same thing. Right? So we need to have long-term goals and short-term goals. The short-term goals, right? Let's say that we're going to break those up into quarterly goals, right? So every 3 months, right, we need to set a new goal, right? So 1 to 3 big goals every quarter that build upon each other, that are going to move you as a business owner towards accomplishing your long-term goal or your vision of where you want to be in a year. So the vision, focus on that. It needs to drive everything you're doing. So there's number one. Number two, you need to find your niche. You really do. All right. So here's what I did when I first got into triathlon coaching. I think somebody had said, hey, try to, figure out who you, really want to work with, who's your ideal client, and, try to find some of them. And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. My ideal client is anyone who's going to pay me money. And, the guy that I was talking with at the time said, well, it's kind of broad, but all right, good luck. All right. And I did that for quite a while and never really had any clear idea about who was my ideal client, who was I trying to bring in and coach, who did I want to help, what were their goals, right? And as I moved through my coaching career and started gaining more experience, started kind of paying attention to more what was going on with the business side of things inside of triathlon, having a niche is an important thing, right? Because there's an old saying, you can be an expert at one thing, or you can be pretty decent at a whole bunch of things. Right? So that's a decision that you, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, need to make. Right? Do I want to find my niche and just simply be absolutely awesome at what I'm doing right there? Or do I want to be a jack of all trades and kind of do a little bit of everything? Right? That's a huge question. Right? And if we look at the people that are on this call, you guys all have a pretty much have the ability, or you do have a niche, right? So I know that Neil, for example, really likes working with first-time Ironman athletes, with people that are new to Ironman, people that are new to triathlon. There's a niche. That's perfect, right? So that's, if I'm going to say, hey, Neil and I are not competing against each other for clients, I don't really get a tremendous amount of enjoyment out of working with somebody who is getting ready to do their first Ironman. Can I help them for that? Yeah, absolutely. Right? But Neil really enjoys working with first-time Ironman athletes. Right? So who is a better fit for somebody who is going to do their first Ironman? Right? It really depends. How well do they get along with Neil? How well do they get along with me? How do their personalities match up? But when it comes to business and the niche, if Neil's thing is, hey, I really like first-time athletes, those are the people that I want to work with. And my answer is I like working with, athletes that are, have done a couple of these, they want to go faster, they really kind of, want to work on the performance end. That's kind of more of my niche, right? So finding that, there's nothing wrong with that. And it can be anything from what type of athlete you want to work with, meaning are they brand new, or do they have to have done 5 Ironman races first? Do you only work with men? Do you only work with women? Do you only work with short course or long course? Do you work with younger athletes, or do you only work with older athletes, right? All that can be your niche. And then on top of that, you can be working online, or you can do stuff in person, right? And that's finding your niche. Where do you and your business model fit in to the triathlon world, to the endurance sports world, where you're providing a service that is unique, right? Because guess what? At the end of the day, if you had every single triathlon coach in the United States write down, let's say they had to do it in 140 characters or less, right? So one tweet, explain to the world what you do, right? The most common theme that you're going to see through that is, I help triathletes get faster. I help them finish their goals, complete their goals, right? So if that's all anybody can ever tell somebody, right? If you got 2,500 people that are saying basically the same thing, but then you have a small group of 50 to 100 to 200 of them that actually say, hey, well, yeah, sure, I do that, but what do? I help athletes that are 55 years or older accomplish their goals in endurance sports, right? There's a niche. I work with older athletes. I specialize in that, right? That's a perfect niche. Now, somebody who's reading that who's 35 and like, well, I want to coach, but they work with old people. I don't want to hire that coach. Yeah, you're not going to get that person. You're not going to get the 35-year-old that's trying to qualify for Kona. That's not your niche though. Right? If your niche is I'm really good at working with the older athletes, I can help them achieve their goals. I understand scientifically what they need in order to get faster and to stay healthy. Who cares if you're signing a 35-year-old? Guess what? The baby boom generation is all now over 55. There's a whole bunch of them out there that are bored out of their minds. They're coming to the end of their careers working, and they're looking for something else to do. Does that mean that they need to do an Ironman? No. Does it mean that they can go out and do a sprint or a super sprint or an Olympic or whatever it is? Yes, absolutely. That's what they're looking for. All right, so find the niche and give athletes a reason to hire you. Give the athletes that you want to work with and you get the most enjoyment out of, give them a reason, right? Identify what you bring to the table that's unique, right? So there's number 2. Number 3, use technology, right? So in terms of coaching, that's easy, right? You need to understand how to, look at a heart rate file, how to look at a GPS file, how to look at a power file, how to interpret them, how to read all that stuff, and to use that to help coaching. All right, to help develop an athlete and get them to where they need to be to accomplish their goals. That's easy. That's not what we're talking about today. All right, technology, we're talking about business. All right, so you have at this point in modern society almost too much technology to help you. Right, but leveraging technology is a heck of a beneficial thing for you. Right, you could have it set up so that your Gmail account or whatever it is gets every single email, and you have to sit down and you have to type up a reply, and you have to do that every single time. And sure, that's kind of cool. It's like old fashioned and everybody's getting a personalized response, but you're now spending a tremendous amount of time answering emails. And for those of you that have ever tried that, that's fun for like 2 days. And you're like, oh my God, I'm tired of answering emails. I'm getting asked a lot of the same questions, right? So then you naturally are going to start trying to figure out, how can I make this a little more automated, right? And that's the key. That is a huge key to being successful as a business owner, is automation. Automate as much as you can, all right? There are things that you do not, and things that you do not, and things that do not require a personal response, right? If you're going to offer a free report where you're going to tell, older athletes, 55 or plus, hey, these are the 3 keys that you need to have when you are, developing a training program for yourself to do, your first triathlon or to do your first half Ironman or whatever it is. Do you really want to have to email that personally to every single person that requests that? No, you might think that's cool right now, but that's not cool. It sucks up your time. So finding technology that can do this for you, right? So the top 3 pieces of technology that I use on a daily basis, all right? The first one is GoToMeeting, right? We're on that right now. This gives me the ability to do a call over the internet, right? So I don't have to pay to call Canada or the Cayman Islands or Australia or Europe or wherever I want to call, whoever I want to talk to somebody, whether it's an athlete, whether it's a coach that's in the mentorship program. GoToMeeting is outstanding. And guess what? It has webcam options, right? So I can do it just like Skype. I can see the other person. I can smile. I can wave at them. I can read their facial expressions. I can see if they fall asleep while I'm talking, whatever it may be. And you add into that you can share your screen. You can give a presentation like this. You can review somebody's training log. You can review a power file. I did a coaching call yesterday with a member of the mentorship program, and we were going over some questions that she had for physiological testing, some metabolic cart stuff, some lactate threshold stuff. And she was asking some outstanding questions. And what I ultimately did was just turned on the actual screen sharing part of it, popped up a PowerPoint document, brand new one, and just started explaining exactly what I was talking about, right? So I had the ability to type into it. I had the ability to, put together a quick graph, pull up part of the lesson that she went through, all kinds of outstanding stuff. So this is an incredibly versatile tool. All right. So, check it out. GoToMeeting, pretty good stuff. All right. The second piece of technology that I use, and this is probably the most expansive one, is Infusionsoft. Right, so that system is not the cheapest system in the world, but it does all of my contact management. It does all of my automated email sequences, and it also does a full shopping cart. And it has all of that integrated together. All right, so Infusionsoft, absolutely outstanding for those of you that do not have that and want to learn more. Google Infusionsoft or shoot me an email. We can chat more about it. So the third biggest piece of technology that I use is kind of a tie. It's a tie between Dropbox.com and Evernote. All right, so Dropbox.com I use a lot. It's a backup system for a computer, and I also use it with a lot of athletes and a lot of members of the coaching mentorship program as a way to share larger files. Right, so if I have an athlete who wants me to take a look at their swim stroke, and let's say they live in New York, right? What is going to happen is they're going to film it, and then they're going to upload the full video to their Dropbox, send me the link, I'm downloaded, I do whatever analysis I'm going to do, I put it back up in my Dropbox and shoot it back over to them, right? This way we're not having to deal with, CDs or DVDs or flash drives and the post office and all this stuff, right? And we're not having to try to, email some gigantic file, right? So Dropbox is huge. Evernote is huge. I'm just kind of getting more into that, but it basically is a way that I can save links, I can save documents, I can save all kinds of stuff to one program that is accessible for all of my technology, right? So that's the laptop, the iPad, the iPhone, whatever it is. If I want to save a link or come back and read something or save a PDF, Evernote seems to be doing some really good stuff with that. All right, so technology, anything that can make your life a little bit easier, can automate it, right? That's what I have Infusionsoft for. And then anything that is going to make it easier or less expensive to do your job, right? If I had to pay long distance cell phone calls for every time I talk to somebody that was out of the US, I might have to go get a second job just to support my phone bill, right? But I can use GoToMeeting, I can use Skype, I can use FaceTime, right? So find the technology and let it help you, all right? The fourth one, we need to be authentic and personable, all right? So what that means is you have to be true to who you are. You have to show that to the people that you're interacting with. You have to be you. If you're trying to portray yourself as somebody who you are not when you're talking to clients or prospective clients, they're probably going to see through that. And if they don't initially, they will after they actually interact with you and they realize, hey, yeah, so, Coach Ryan comes off as this, super cheery, high energy. He, is just going crazy, always, just super energetic, right? And then you get to talking with me, and am I always super energetic? No, not always. Not. Right? So be authentic, be who you are. Let people in on who you are. Share a little bit of your personal life with the people that you work with. Share a little bit of that with the people that you want to work with, right? Because remember, when it comes to business, people aren't necessarily purchasing the product or the service, right? They are purchasing you and your why, right? So why do you work with triathletes? Why do you get out of bed every morning and find enjoyment in writing training programs for people, looking at the workouts they've done in their power files and adjusting their schedule, Why do you like answering email after email? Why do you like, dealing with triathletes that are having a freak out moment because their workout didn't go perfectly? Right? They want to know why you do it. They might not know that that's what they're wanting to know, but at the end of the day, your why is what you're selling, right? Yeah, sure. Everybody writes training programs. It's a triathlon coach. If all somebody wants is a training program, they can go buy a book that has training programs. They can buy a pre-written training program from Training Peaks. They can find one on Google for free. They could call you up or email you and buy something that you've already pre-written. Right? That's the training. So why is somebody wanting to pay you more money to write something for them, to help them specifically? Right? They have their reasons. Right? They want someone who's going to be able to write a more customized program for them. Yeah, absolutely. You're going to get a heck of a lot more out of that. They want someone who's going to hold them accountable. Yeah, the book's not going to hold you accountable unless it falls off a shelf and hits you in the head after somehow it figured out you didn't do a workout, right? They want someone to monitor their files and give them feedback, right? You got to have a coach for that, right? But they want to know why you're doing what you're doing, right? If your why is because I have to do something that's going to earn me money, I would rather just sit on the couch and watch TV, they're going to figure that out. If your why isn't because you enjoy helping people overcome adversity and achieve their goals, you're going to have a hard time competing with a coach that's in the same market, same demographics, looking for the same type of client who has that passion, right? So you being authentic and personable, open up part of your personal life to people. You don't have to give them all kinds of information. It's not telling you to share your social security number, right? But on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, put something up there that's personable. Put something up there that's personable. If you look at the Twitter account, all right, for Endurance Sports University, it's been up there for, I don't know, a couple months now, and I have a neat technological system that automates a lot of the tweeting, right? Is that something that if you look through the, End Sports U, Twitter handle, you would look at that and go, it's not a whole lot of personable, authentic stuff here. And you're absolutely right. I need to get back on that and adjust that because it pretty much looks like a marketing robot took over my Twitter account. Right? So what was an authentic and a personable post that I could put on there? If you look and see, one of the posts from last night when I went out to dinner with my wife was I took a picture of the beer that I had, and a simple amount of text that said sometimes you just need an adult beverage, and to put the picture of the beer up there. Right? Be authentic. Right? Be personable. Open yourself up so that potential clients and existing clients can learn more about you as a person. All right, so that is going to bring my part of this afternoon to a conclusion. The next Coaches Mastermind call next Thursday, November 19th, same time, same station. Give me till tomorrow morning to get that all updated on that URL right there. But let's open this up to whatever questions you guys have. Questions. So Aaron with a good question. Aaron, do you have a microphone? Aaron does not. All right, I'm just going to read it and answer it. So Aaron asked, how did I get Audible as a sponsor? It's a secret. I can't tell you that. Just kidding. All right, let me tell you how you get Audible as a sponsor. All right, Audible comes on whenever you have an Amazon affiliate account. All right, so log into your Amazon account. Find somewhere under your account, upper right-hand corner-ish. Click that. There's a drop-down menu. Go down to the affiliates page. And from there, you have to apply to be an affiliate. They want some business information, some personal info. And if they approve you, they make you an affiliate, which means you get a commission off of everything that you sell through your affiliate account. And Audible is part of Amazon. So that would be how I got Audible as an affiliate. So good question. Good question, Aaron. Thank you. All right. Who else has questions? Anybody else that is on the call? Can be about the 4 keys of success that we talked about earlier. It can be about anything you want. It can be about coaching, can be about science, can be about business, marketing, sales. Anything that you ladies and gentlemen want to know. No problem, Aaron. I'm glad you are already an affiliate. That is good. All right. What else, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, any other sponsorship tips? Yes. All right, Kara, great question. Okay, so sponsorship tips. There are, in general, 2 different types of sponsorships that you can get as a triathlon coaching company. There are sponsorships that provide a discount, and then there are sponsorships that provide actual goods, right? So whether that be, product, whether that be money, you have 2 different types of sponsorships. In general, finding companies that will give you a discount is a very easy thing to do. You pretty much just have to get in touch with them and ask them, hey, my name is Ryan. I have coached my triathlon coach with Endurance Sports University. It's my company, and I got a whole bunch of athletes, and none of them have a, some of them are gonna need a new helmet. So, hey, Rudy Project, do you want to sponsor me? Yeah, sure, we'll sponsor you. They give you the, standard sponsorship package that they have. If you have something that is out of the ordinary in terms of a company, where you think that you have, a unique niche, let's say that you have a very large reach, into the triathlon community or the running community or whatever it may be, then you can say, hey, well, listen, here's some unique circumstances, right? But at the end of the day, when it comes to sponsorships in general, you have to keep in mind, athletes have developed this incredibly unique sense of entitlement when it comes to I should get free stuff and I should get discounts. So everybody is hitting up these different companies trying to say, hey, you should sponsor me. I'm amazing, and whatever else they're saying. And those are just the athletes. And then you got the coaches, the different coaching companies coming to them and going, hey, I got, a whole bunch of athletes. How many do you have? I got 22. All right, well, the, ABC company over there has 122. That's why you're not getting what they're getting, right? So getting discounted offers, very, very easy to do. Getting a sponsorship where they are going to give you product or they're going to give you money is a heck of a lot more difficult, right? So from there, let's kind of break that into 2 different categories, right? So we're going to give you product, and then we're going to give you money, right? People that are going to give out product, nutrition companies are really good at getting samples basically into coaches' hands so they can turn around and get that to their athletes, because the nutrition companies like Infinite Nutrition or Noon or any of those guys, they know, hey, I can put up the world's greatest ad or Facebook post or web page, or I can buy an ad in Triathlete magazine or whatever it may be, and someone's going to read all about it, and it's going to say pretty much the same thing that all my competitors say. Oh, look, hey, look how great we are. This many calories, this many, milligrams of sodium, and this much caffeine, and look at all the carbs, and oh my gosh, all this great stuff. They all say the same thing. How do you get an athlete to make a decision on a nutrition product? You give them a sample. You let them try it out, and if they like it, they're going to buy it, right? So finding that's relatively straightforward. That's normally going to come in conjunction with a discount code to pass out to your clients so they will, buy more nutrition products. When it comes to bigger companies, like let's say, Finis or Tier, Rudy Project with the helmets and the glasses, something with swim equipment, maybe a running company, getting them to give you product, you really have to have something that is unique to really go from the level of, sure, we'll give you 20% off, we'll give you 30% off, we'll give you, we'll sell it to you at cost, whatever it is. You really have to have something more that is going to be able to give them a reason to want to give you free product, right? And the more that the product costs, the more you have to be able to really provide them, right? So whether that is something, you have a blog that you have, Google Analytics set up on, so you can tell exactly how many people each month come to your blog. If you can tell somebody, hey, I have 32,000 people a month that come to my blog. Now you're giving somebody a reason to say, we'll be more than happy to give you some product if you'll put a little ad in there, or you'll, write a post about our products or something like that. Now you're getting somewhere, right? But you have to have something that you're contributing to a potential sponsor, right? It has to be a two-sided sponsorship, right? Think of it this way. If an athlete approached you and said, hey, coach, you're really great at what you're doing. Look at what all your athletes are doing. Hey, so I'm really fast. And I have a whole bunch of friends right in the area that we both live in. They're always asking me, what are you doing for training? You're really fast. I want to work out with you, that type of thing that athletes like to do. And they're going to come to you and say, hey, if you sponsor me, I'll be your representative. I'll tell all my friends how awesome you are. Right? How many of you have heard that one before? Like, everybody should be raising their hand right now. You, as a business owner, have to look at that and go, okay, this is what this athlete's asking me for. What am I going to get in return, right? What's my return on investment? And the companies that you would approach for sponsorship are going to say the exact same thing, right? They're going to look at you as a coach. They're going to look at your company as a business, and they're going to say, okay, the Coach Ryan's coming to us and he's saying, hey, Rudy Project, I want 20 helmets that, are retailing for $250 each. And I want to get these to my athletes because they're awesome and they have great results, and they're going to, really make your helmet company look good, right? Rudy Project has to look at that and go, okay, well, if I'm giving him 20 helmets, right, they're retailing at $250, maybe they cost us 50 or $100 or whatever it is to make. So how much money are we actually giving this guy? And what are we going to get out of this? Right? So that's what you have to keep in mind. Getting product, probably the second easiest thing to do other than getting a discount. Getting cash, you got to have something big. You really do at this point, right? I mean, it's just triathlon has grown into a big business at this point. And people just aren't handing out money on a regular basis. You have to have something where you can point to and go, hey, look, everybody, this is what I'm doing. This is, if you give me this number of dollars, I'm going to put your logo on my uniform because it's going to be in front of 50 people because I have 50 clients, and I'm going to include it in a newsletter that I send to 15,000 people, and of the 15,000 people I open it to, I normally get 12,000 opens. That's where you're really going to start to provide real value to a lot of companies that you're wanting money from. All right, so that's kind of my overview on sponsorships, how to go and get them. There's a rule of thumb that has always been good. If you don't ask, the answer is going to be no. So keep that in mind. If you don't go ask for a sponsorship, the answer is no. You could try to get a sponsorship with Infinite Nutrition. If you never bother contacting Infinite, guess what your answer is? No, we're not going to sponsor you. If you contact them and you're like, hey, here's the who, what, when, where, how, and why, I want a sponsorship from you guys, they're going to give you something, but you have to ask. All right, that's the key. All right, so we got time for a few more questions. If anybody else has any more questions, I am making a recording of this Coaches Mastermind group, and yes, it will be available once we are all done. Probably be available tomorrow. Let's say about tomorrow. That'd be a good guess. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get at least one more good question in here. Somebody give me something good. Hello, Suzanne. I'm not sure when you joined us, but welcome. How are things in Pennsylvania? Suzanne, give me a good question. I know you got to have a good one. It's cold and windy. I would imagine. I thought it was cold earlier today when I went outside in San Diego. Then I realized that it was kind of like 67 degrees, so it wasn't that cold. One advantage of not living in a cold place. All right, Suzanne, any questions that you have about anything relating to coaching and or business. So anything you want. That's what we're taking questions on. Anybody? Aaron, that is a great question, and I will answer that one offline for you. All right, so Suzanne has a great question. All right, let us get into that one for the remainder of the time that we have. She's wanting to know about arrangements with associate coaches and examples of what other companies do. So I'm guessing that you're meaning bringing on associate coaches as you being the boss. So if I am correct or incorrect, yes. Okay, good. It really there isn't anything that is standardized. It really just depends on how big the company is and what they're doing. I think if you look at Carmichael, for example, they have, actual facilities throughout the country. They find, what appears to be a relatively small city where, the lease isn't going to, absolutely kill them. And they have the ability to, at this point, pay people, for their time, etc. Something like that. I'm not sure exactly what the specifics are. But basically, there's one thing, and then I think the other, rest of the coaching companies aren't necessarily giving benefits and stuff like that. It's normally, a percentage split type of a thing. So I think that if I had to guess, a normal split of coaching fees that would be collected by, one company that had coaches working for it is normally somewhere around that 60-40 to maybe 70-30 with the contractor or the coach getting the larger number. All right, so more info from Suzanne. She says she has 4 coaches that work with her. She's looking for ideas on building the business. Suzanne, what I would say is, shoot me an email with, kind of what you're doing with them now and where you want to go, and I might be able to help you a little bit more with that, kind of point you in the right direction. The triathlon world, the triathlon business world is full of coaches who are entrepreneurs. They are self-started, motivated people who are normally going to be your type A person who really, likes getting out and running their own business, doing their own thing. And having them sign up to work for another coach, they have a hard time, going, all right, well, I can just do this myself and charge $200 and I don't have to give you 30 or 40% of that. Why do I want to do that? That's a normal question. And there's a lot of answers to that. It comes down to what are you doing for your assistant or associate coaches that you have that are working for you, or what, if you're looking to bring them on, what are you going to provide for them, right? Doing all the billing, sure, that's a no-brainer. Doing all the marketing, sure, that's a no-brainer, right? But you start running into a problem there, right? So if, like Susanna, you're, outside of Pittsburgh, I believe, in Pennsylvania, anything that you're gonna do marketing wise as a company, you need to market for the company, right? Where if you have an associate coach that lives in Seattle, right, you might or might not be doing any specific marketing campaigns or promotions or whatever for Seattle, right? That's where it starts to become a gray area. So figuring out, okay, what is it that I'm going to offer an associate or an assistant coach to come on? Why does somebody want to give me, if I'm going to take 30% of their profit, right? If we have a 70-30 split, which is a pretty good deal for the coach, right? I'm taking 60 of the $200 a month they're charging. What am I giving them in return for that $60, right? Because that's what the assistant or the associate coach is going to be looking at. What is Suzanne or what is Ryan at Endurance Sports University or whoever going to give me? Why, if I have 10 clients and I'm charging them each $200 a month, right, I'm giving up $600 a month to this coach to be a part of their company. What am I getting for that? Right? That's the question. So, that's where you really have to brainstorm and, sit down and try to determine, what am I offering right now? What can I offer? Right? And a really good way to start getting some ideas with that, Suzanne, talk to the 4 coaches that you already have working with you and just ask them, hey, so why do you like working for me? Right? You could ask them, so, what, there's a bunch of different, services that, I make available to you. I take care of, the billing and the marketing and whatever else it is you do. Lay out what you think that you're doing for them and ask them, hey, so this is a list of the things that I'm thinking that, I take care of, the business takes care of, the company takes care of on a regular basis. What am I missing? What else do I do? What else do we provide for you guys? And see if you're missing something. See if there's something you're actually providing them that you don't really know that they value that much. And then ask them, what else would you want? What else could I do as a boss to make it better for you working for me? Right? And it's, I mean, you're the drawback, right? So if someone told me to do this, I'd be like, kind of have a good relationship with all my coaches. I don't really want to potentially rock that boat. I don't really want to ask them, hey, so this is what I'm doing for you. What do you like? Because now I'm kind of pointing out, hey, this is all I'm doing for you. It might be a lot, it might be a little, right? That can be a scary thing, right? So have a conversation. The people that are working for you, you should have a good idea how solid or not your relationship is. If it's a solid relationship, ask ask the questions. Hey, what else could I do? What other services, what other things could I take off your plate? What could the company do to make your job as a coach easier? Right? From there, they're gonna give you the good feedback. They're gonna tell you. If their answer is like nothing, are you sure? I mean, there's nothing with marketing or could I help you do? Is there something the company could help you do with being more efficient? If they're just like no, 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 like a teenager, then okay, they're happy, great. But you're going to find somebody who's going to be like, what would be really cool is if, you could teach us a little bit more about, how you're doing the marketing stuff so we can try to do some of our own marketing, or whatever it may be. So I would say simply talk to the people you have right now, see what they like, see what they value, right? So let's say that you're giving them, let's try to make this a little shorter because we're getting here to the end. You take care of all the billing, you take care of all the marketing, you take care of all the contracts, you take care, you get them a discount on Training Peaks, you have a monthly, team coaching call, and you're available to answer whatever questions they have, via phone, text, email, Skype, whatever. Okay. So make that list and then say, hey, so these are the different things that, the company is doing for you. can you rank those in the order in which you value them, please? All right, because you might think, hey, I'm taking care of all the billing for them. They really value that. That might be the thing that they actually value least, right? Because the things that they value the most, chances are other coaches are going to value those too. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you're welcome, Suzanne. No problem. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude episode number 1 of the Coaches Mastermind Group. This call is going to be open to the public for the remainder of 2015. And after that, it is going to be only for members of the Coaching Mentorship Program. So next Thursday, November 19th, same time, same station. Give me till tomorrow at some point to get that link updated so you can register for it. I'll shoot out another email. And in the meantime, focus on your vision. The vision is where you want to be in 1 year and 3 years and 5 years. That's your long-term goal. Create some short-term goals, right? Let's go with quarterly goals. So 12 months from today, November 12th, 2016, where do you want to be as a business owner? Where do you want to be as a person who owns a business, meaning your personal life? That's your long-term goal. From there, short-term goals, quarterly, right? 3 quarterly goals, all designed to support the vision. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time.